So the Tau Empire has new characters, and they solve close combat the same way the Tau solve everything. They shoot it. Groundbreaking. Meet Rylantar and Rylakau. They're twin lancers, and they exist because Commander Farsight had, to go and commit treason, and the Ethereals needed a replacement. So, who wouldn't, Replace them. They think of them as a diet Farsight, the same killing blow, and 0% roguish. Their origin is that the Genestealer Patriarch rearranged their squad's leaders' organs into a modern art installation, and, they took that personally. So now they get really close into things, shoot them in the face repeatedly because the Earthcast built them that way. The Earthcast also built battlesuit-sized pulse pistols and said melee is just a mindset, not a way of life, which is honestly the most Tau sentence ever spoken. Right, the actual rules. Stat lines first: toughness 6, 8 wounds with a +2 save, and a 4+ invulnerability. That's reasonably durable for characters in a suit. Not unkillable, but if you're popping with these small arms 10-inch moves, and they've got Scout 8 on top of that, they're covering ground fast. Deep strike as well if you'd rather just drop in on somebody's lap. Then let's talk about the guns. They have a lot of guns. Rylantar's packing a fusion eliminator that's a strength 10, AP -4, D6 damage with a melter 2 at 18 inches, and that's already pretty nasty. But if you want to be close anyway, you're getting that way anyway with a melter bonus as well. Rylakau brings on a ion scatter cannon with 4 shots at strength 7, AP -2, damage 2 on standard, or if you overcharge, it is a strength 8, AP -3, 3 damage, and if you're feeling brave and don't mind hazardous, both of them carry XV pulse pistols, which are rapid fire 2 at ballistic skill 2+, strength 6, AP -1, damage 2, and the Shardstorm's burst systems are pistols, weapons throwing D6 shots each at strength 5, and that's a lot of output for one unit, as well as the fact they're mostly hitting on 2s. Now here's the thing that actually makes them disgusting. Exemplars of Mont'ka, every ranged attack attacking the closest legible target gets sustained 1 hit and ignores cover. So you're generating a lot of extra hits by shooting at it, by whatever is nearest, and the cover means nothing. On a unit that wants to be in the face anyway, that's not a bonus, that is an entirely new game plan. They are vehicles with fly keyword, so big guns never mean they're actually getting tagged in engagement. So the vehicles with the fly keyword, so big guns never tire, means getting tagged in engagement range doesn't shut them down either. They just keep shooting in melee, and they've still got extra attacks from the fusion emulator and the iron scatter cannons. With a weapon skill 4+, this isn't amazing, but the strength of 10 with an AP of -4 on the fusion is still going to ruin someone's day, if it connects. The XV pulse pistols swings 4 attacks at weapon skill 3 and in melee 2. They're not just dedicated melee units, but they're not going to be helpless either. They're just not shooting in melee as one does. Neocapacitor shields, let's talk about that. At the start of your opponent's charge phase, pick an enemy within 12 inches, not monsters or vehicles, and they take battle shock tests and subtract 1 from their charge roll. So you're potentially battle shocking something before it even reaches you, and making it even have to do a harder charge. Now, you want to be the one charging and make sure the other guy has a worse time in order to return the favor here. And if it does go sideways, well, they've got retrofusters at the end of their fight phase, and they can do a normal move up to 6 inches or fall back every fight phase. Both players' turns, they weren't in a fight, doesn't matter. They can still move. They just leave. That's not a rule, that's a restraining order with jump jets. So, the big question here, mid or meta? So, scouts with 8 into a 10-inch move, deep strike if you want it, and a pile of guns hitting on 2s with sustained hits and ignores covers, with built-in Neocapacitor shields, taxing charges, retro thrusters letting them reposition for every single fight phase, durable enough to take a hit, killy enough to make it a mistake. For me, that's meta. Go and buy the Twin Lance. Farsight is somewhere molding with his magic sword, and honestly, it's not our problem anymore, and it's definitely not the Tau's problem anymore. We'll see you next time for more Mid and Meta.